Find the volume of an object whose base is bounded by, in this case will be these examples, but they've got isosceles right triangle cross sections. You're like, what? The cross section's perpendicular to the x-axis with the right angle along the x-axis. Wow. Let's try to visualize what the heck they're talking about. It says, all right, we've got the graph y equals root x. That looks like this, you guys. Whoop. Root x looks like that. Find the volume of an object with the base bounded by the x-axis. Here's my red x-axis. Oh, x equals 9. And then this root x. So here is the base. And it says there are right triangle cross sections. What the heck? Isosceles right triangle cross sections. Off to the side, do you agree this is an isosceles right triangle? Isosceles means that two sides are the same. You down with that? So if I were to try to draw that in here, it's going to be funky. I would say, all right, there's the base of my triangle. And then it depends how you want to draw it. That might be the height. And there's my triangle. How do we feel about that? Base, height, right isosceles triangle is what we're drawing here. Right isosceles. And the big thing is these legs have to equal each other. So in order to find the the volume of the shape, as Kate pointed out on Friday, if they say perpendicular to x-axis, boom, I know I got to do dx. Let me write it in a color you can see. And I need to integrate the area of a cross-section, people. From what x to what x do you think we're dealing with? 0 to 9, I agree with that. 0 to 9 are going to be my bounds. What's the area of one triangle? Area of a triangle is 1/2 base times height. Well, you guys, if it's isosceles, are the base and the height the same thing? If it's a right isosceles, the base and the height are the same thing. How could I get that base? All day, upper minus lower. Upper minus lower is going to help me find this length right here. Upper minus lower, when I've got root x minus 0, that's my upper minus lower. This is the leg of one triangle right there. 1/2 base times height, you said. What's the height going to be? That. So could I just say root x squared? Yeah, I love it. That's it. That's going to find the volume of this funky looking shape that has all these right isosceles triangles popping out at you. Very hard to visualize, Mark. Very hard. If I were us, I would go ahead and simplify this before I integrate it. What's going to happen with my root and my squared? They're going to cancel, and I'm left with the integral from 0 to 9 of just 1/2. You could pull that half out front if you want. Doesn't matter. If you wouldn't have thought of it, we can leave it there. And we just have 1/2 x.
Are we ever going to get somewhere?
Okay, so antiderivative 1/2 x. 1/2 x to the, x squared over 2. Or some people might just be like, dude, that was just x to the second over 4. I agree. X to the second over 4 from 0 to 9. Guys, right here, the answer's staring us in the face. Let's go see if we get 81/4. 81/4. What's 9 squared going to get me? 81/4 minus 0 over 4? 81/4 is the volume of that crazy solid. Ooh! Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, so this one, Kate is going to notice, says find the volume of an object with a base bounded by, here's the x-axis, boop, here's the x-axis, the y-axis, boop, and then this function, I even gave it to you, it's root 4 minus x. Okay, ooh, then look what we have as my cross sections this time, semicircle cross sections, semicircle. Let's try to picture this, you guys. It says cross sections have diameters in the base and are perpendicular to the y-axis. So Kate, right here, boom, that's going to tell me dy right there. We got to draw a semicircle like this. So semicircle, and then I got like a half circle sticking up there. It's like a hamburger, top of the bun. Top of the bun, y'all. I'm going to change colors because I think it's hard to see multiples in one. So we got all these semicircles. These are terrible semicircles. They're so flat. What am I thinking? Whoop. There we go. That's a better semicircle. And then we got more semicircles. Boop. You guys, how do I find the area of a semicircle? 1/2 pi r squared. You guys, we got to go find our r. Look what they said. They said the diameter is this. Well, don't forget, what is that? Isn't that just upper minus lower? Isn't that diameter just the function to this y-axis? So it's just the function, which we know that function was y equals root 4 minus x. You guys, can I put root 4 minus x in here? Why can I not?
Because it's in respect to y.
Because we need to have a y here. And also, isn't root 4 minus x this whole diameter?
Yeah.
How would I get a radius? You know it.
Yeah, like cut it in half.
Cut it in half. Could I say my radius is just that? My radius is just that. But again, to your point, Ritzy, we got to cut that in half. So let's go find this diameter with x equals, and then we'll cut it in half. Does that sound good? How do I get y by itself here? I'm sorry, x by itself. We're going to square first. So I get y squared equals 4 minus x. We want to get x by itself now. Yeah, I'm going to add my x. I like that, Beck. X equals 4 minus y squared. Cool. That's my diameter, y'all. If that's my diameter. Yeah. Okay, so if that's my diameter, what am I going to put in here for pi r squared? What's my radius? Over 2, exactly. 4 minus y squared, and then just divide that by 2. 1/2 pi r squared. Love it. Let's go grab our calcies. Oh, because we don't have our bounds yet. With our calculators, you guys, I'm going to go type this in because we can only type in y equals equations on our calcies. So I'm going to go type in that original. Y equals root 4 minus x. Does your graph look like that? If we're looking at that on my calculator, it looks like this. I need my bounds, so I'm looking on my y-axis. I'm going to go from 0 to what on my y-axis? Did you get that y-intercept? So you could do like trace. We could just trace our graph and give ourselves a little guess. Does anyone have a guess? What'd you say? 2. I think it's going to be 2. Let's talk about y. What is your x value when you're on your y-axis? What's your x value?
0.
X is 0. If you plug in a 0 right here, what's 4 minus 0? 4 square root of 4? 2. That's how we would definitely know that bound. So we're going to say 0 to 2. So you guys, let's go all plug in this integral into our calculator. And again, using x's at this point is then fine. Math 9, 0 to 2. And I'm going to do 1/2 pi r. My r was 4 minus, I'm going to just write an x squared over 2. And don't forget to square that whole radius. Okay, did we get 6.702? Last one here. This kind of goes into what you're saying, Ritzy. Let R be this region, bounded by, and we get a calculator for this. Do you agree that x squared one, this y equals x minus 2 squared, it's going to be this. It's just a parabola that they shifted right to. And then the 4 cosine is going to be this blue one. Cool? Okay, R is the base of a solid. Each cross section perpendicular to the x-axis is an isosceles right triangle. Again, perpendicular to the x-axis. So we're going to have isosceles right triangles staring out at us. Boom. Isosceles right triangles. Area of a triangle is what? 1/2 base times height. If it's an isosceles triangle, are my base and my height going to be the same? How am I going to get base here? All day. Upper minus lower. Blue minus pink, right? Blue minus pink. So I'm going to say upper minus lower. I'm going to even write it in my pretty colors. Blue was 4 cosine of pi x over 4 minus pink. Got to move that. We got minus, parentheses are going to be our worst enemy here, x minus 2 squared. That's my upper minus lower. That is just the base of my triangle. 1/2 base. What do we need to multiply that by? The same thing. So could I actually just square that for my height? Yeah, all right. Let's go type that in and call it a day. We forgot some bounds. He says 0 to 2 because we're on that x-axis. 0 to 2. Agreed, buddy. Thank you. Did you all get A? Did anybody get A? I only said A because I got an A right here, but I don't know if that regards to it. Uh-oh. And the answer is A.